What is going on, everybody? My name is Dakota and welcome back to Colognes. And today we're going to be looking at and reviewing a new release by Terence Hughes, and that is going to be SLUT ELIXIR. So if you couldn't tell, this has a very interesting name. He is very unique when it comes to naming fragrances. All right, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so as I like to do with a lot of these, on some of them, I will do a little bit of an unboxing. He has a very clean, just pretty straightforward, I like this packaging. Alrighty, and here is the actual bottle itself. The actual bottle, when it comes to his 50 ml bottles, I genuinely enjoy these. I feel like there's good weight to them. The caps are magnetic. These have great atomizers. Speaking of the atomizer, I'll go ahead and get into that now. So the atomizers that he uses are phenomenal. Probably one of my favorite atomizers out of the whole collection. Ooh, this is a really good fragrance. But the atomizers are extremely pressured, good burst. You get a lot out of each spray. So because of that, you don't have to overkill the sprays on this one. And when this first gets into the air, you are overwhelmed with a very beautiful sweetness. This is a very sweet fragrance. This also has a little bit of a woody nature to it, and it's also warm. But the most thing you get out of this is it's dominatingly sweet, very candy-like sweet, very bubblegummy candy sweet. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put a little strip there on the wrist. And as this gets drying down, I'm gonna get y'all flipped around. We're gonna get the notes. I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, as we get into these top notes, the top note on this is gonna be spicy mint, blood mandarin orange, lavender, and lemon. The middle note on this is going to be tonka, vanilla, amber, peach, apple, plum, and rhubarb. So there is a lot of sweet going on in here. And the biggest thing that I tend to pick up that I think my nose can pick apart is going to be that vanilla, the peach, the apple, and the rhubarb. The base notes on this are going to dry down to a sandalwood, white musk, cedarwood, and patchouli. Now, when this dries down, you don't get much, if any, patchouli out of this. This does develop a little bit of a woody muskness to it. Not a lot, but just a little. But the main thing you get, even all the way through the dry down, is that overwhelming sweetness. But the quality blend that is done to this, even though it is a very strong sweet, it's blended in a way to where it still makes you want to come back for more. But that'll be enough on that. Let me get y'all flipped back around and we'll get back into it. Alrighty, and we are back. So as this dries down a little bit, it develops an even bigger chunk of sweetness. This is a beautifully sweet fragrance. But I will tell you right now, if you're not someone who loves, and I mean loves, an overbearing, dominant, sweet, in-your-face fragrance, this isn't going to be for you. This fragrance is very potent, and if you're not someone who is kind of prepared for an incredibly strong fragrance, this might not be for you because this may give you a headache. But it's crazy that this is still extremely appealing for the strength that you get out of this. I think this is a parfum concentration. I'll just go ahead and get to the performance now. The performance on this thing is absolutely amazing. I get all day. I get that 10 to 12 hours out of this. The sillage on this is huge. The projection on this is big. As far as performers goes, this is a top 5 performer in my collection. Now, the price and availability on this. Availability wise is extremely limited. It's only going to be Fragrance USA and Max Aroma, and unfortunately his shipments are slowing down just a little bit. So he has been doing stuff lately to where if you can, about once a quarter, you can buy directly from him, but you've normally got to spend somewhere in that $400 to $500 range to get him to ship to you due to some of the international shipping issues he's having. But if you can find this on Max Aroma and Fragrance USA, you're gonna get this in around that 160, 180 range, somewhere in there. Here's the hiccup to this fragrance. I absolutely love this fragrance. I feel like this fragrance is beautiful, it is wonderful, and I like everything about it. This smells so much like Hard Candy Elixir, I can't justify having this. I can't justify owning this. I actually bought this for my wife. We have the original SLUT that came out, the non-elixir. If you put the two SLUT fragrances together and if you put the two Hard Candy fragrances together, you actually can't tell these apart. Me and a friend did a blind test on this, just put them on test strips and come back later. We can't tell them apart. And the weird part is the note breakdowns are extremely different. This has tonka, peach, apple, rhubarb, plum, stuff like that. Stuff that hard candy doesn't have. You know, hard candy, the biggest dominant thing on it was the sweetness was strawberry forward. This doesn't have that. And I don't know how he got them to smell so similar, but the note breakdown is so different. I'm not gonna lie, that is my biggest complaint on this, is if you already have a hard candy or a hard candy elixir, you can't justify having both. It's rare that I say a fragrance is so redundant that it's not worth honing. This might be one of the first ones I've done that, and which is unfortunate because the sad part is that this fragrance is amazing. This thing is wonderful. It's beautifully blended. It's sweet. It's strong. It's stout. Basically everything you could ask for out of a fragrance. The only problem is if you have one of the candies, you already have it in a fragrance. I think an honest, fair comparison has to be made here. But with that being said, if you're someone who doesn't have the candies and you gravitate toward this, you know what? That's fine, because this is still a beautiful, quality, very natural smelling fragrance that is top shelf, top tier. So when you would wear this, in my case, would be more like a fall and a winter. This would be a beautiful date fragrance. This fragrance, for how strong and dominating it is, also could be an intimate fragrance because it is so warm, it is so inviting. It has so many properties to it that the scent is almost a little bit addicting. You kind of just keep wanting coming back for more when it comes to this. So yeah, if I had to rate this fragrance right now, unfortunately, I am gonna give this a 9.9 out of 10. The only reason it's not getting a 10 is it smells too much like hard candy. Other than that, there's not a single thing I would change about this. Performance checks every box, scent quality checks every box, it's natural, good presentation, good bottle, good atomizer. The price is a little bit steep, but it's priced very evenly to hard candy elixir. So for that, call fair is fair. So yeah, the only reason I'm gonna dock this 0.1 is just because this was released second. Now, if this would have came out before hard candy elixir, this would be a 10 and the other would be a 9.9, but that is not how it went down. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get in this bottle one more time, just show that off. I do think that is gonna get us wrapped up. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for subscribing, for sticking around, for staying tuned. I genuinely appreciate all the feedback and support I've been getting from the channel, so thank you. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.